Hey, I'm back with Raw. Okay. This show overall I thought was a mixed bag. For the first episode of the Road to WrestleMania show, I thought that there were a lot of ups and downs with this one. I'll get right into it. After they showed the videos and the still shots of recapping the Chamber pay-per-view, the show started with Cena coming out. The Road to WrestleMania is here! Blah, blah, blah. And now we know what the two title matches are going to be. Del Rio Swagger and Rock against him. Then CM Punk and Paul Heyman come out, and Punk, pretty much says that Cena got lucky by winning the Royal Rumble to get a title shot. And Punk says, oh yeah, Rock beat me fair and square. That was after I had him pinned, and he hit the referee later on. But he won fair and square, and then Punk tells Cena that Cena never actually beat him, and he mentions that he never beat The Rock either. And he says, pretty much saying, oh yeah, Rock versus Cena, that's a repeat from last year. We know what happens. Rock wins. And says, Rock beats Cena, and because Cena can't win the big one, and Punk just wants Cena to walk away, and Cena has something that belongs to him, the title shot, and pretty much Punk tells Cena to get out of his life, blah blah blah. Cena's like, no way, man. He admires CM Punk's honesty, and he says, he says that he knows Punk is smart enough to know that Cena won't give up his title match at WrestleMania. So, and then Cena even mentions that he hasn't beaten CM Punk or The Rock, which means where that's going to lead. So Cena says that he'll silence the critics once and for all, and he's got an answer. So he'll let Punk own the golden ticket to WrestleMania. He'll put his number one contender spot for the WWE title on the line against CM Punk, and he'll do it right here, right now. Blah 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 blah. So and Punk, says Punk just says to Cena, oh yeah, you just made the stupidest decision of your life. Blah blah blah. I'll take Cena. He says, I'll take you up on it, but I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it on my terms. Since I was screwed at the Chamber and shouldn't be in this position, we'll have the match next week. Cena's like, okay, it's official. So next week it's going to be Cena versus Punk. Winner goes to face The Rock at WrestleMania. Decent way to start the show, but and I kind of had a feeling they'd do a number one contender on the line spot match. But when they say, whatever they say, it's like Cena. It was like, oh, Cena never beat CM Punk. He never beat The Rock. So that predictably means that next week he'll beat CM Punk and he'll beat The Rock at WrestleMania and be standing triumphant with the title. Whoop-de-doo. Then we have Matt Striker backstage with Sheamus. Sheamus says that they were supposed to get revenge on the Shield at the Chamber. He feels like they let everybody down. Actually, he didn't, because I wanted the Shield to win. And Ryback is over there pacing back and forth. And then Sheamus is over there telling Ryback, hey, we need to adopt and overcome, fella. And he's like, to Ryback, hey, Machida, minus Neanderthal. Ryback grabs Sheamus, and Jericho comes in saying, hey, you guys shouldn't be mad at each other, blah, blah, blah. They got to do whatever it takes to save WWE, to stop the Nexus from taking over, or whatever. Jericho's seen, these takeover attempts before from the NWO, and from the Nexus. I mean, the Nexus was not as dominating, anywhere near as dominating as the NWO was. But, so Jericho says that he loves WWE, he won't wrestle for any other company, blah, blah, blah. And he says that there's no way Vicky Guerrero can deny the appeal of seeing the Shields face Ryback, Sheamus, and Chris Jericho. And he'll talk to Vicky to make sure that match happens later on in the show on Raw. Sheamus and Ryback are okay with that. And Jericho walks off, and just Ryback goes, feed me Shield. Good stuff here, and I knew there would be some Sheamus Ryback tension, but I would have really loved to see this six-man happen at WrestleMania. Maybe I don't know. Since they have some Ryback Sheamus tension, maybe they'll do a match with those two at WrestleMania. I don't know what they're gonna do yet. So then Mark Henry squashes Sin Cara. Then he picks him up again and goes to give him a second World's Strongest Slam. But then Khali's music hits, and then Khali comes out. Mark Henry just drops Sin Cara. And then as Khali gets in the ring, Mark Henry slides out, and then he mimics his dance shtick, and he tells Khali, hey, that dancing stuff is all you're good for. So it was okay, but I really don't want. I really think Mark Henry deserves way better than to have to get stuck facing Khali at WrestleMania. So next, in a rematch from the Chamber pay-per-view, we have Miz and United States of Antonio Cesaro for the U.S. title in a no DQ match since the match ended at the pay-per-view ended in that weak DQ finish. Decent short plunger match. Miz was still taped up from when Cesaro gave him a giant swing into the ring barrier last Monday. Decent short plunger match. Miz got the figure 4 on Cesaro and won the U.S. title. So like I said, I don't know why they had this match at the pay-per-view if they were going to have it on Raw too. They could have just had it be no. They could have just had the match on whatever. That's one thing to get through. Like they have a match on the pay-per-view and then they have it on Raw for free the next night. It's the same thing. Then we get a video from Jack Swagger and Death Mantel, Zed Coulter, whatever you want to call him. Your typical heel American anti-foreigners promo, blah blah blah. There's delinquents who illegally come into the country. That's drained the country of resources and productivity. Zeb and they were looking for a handout. Zeb and Jack will give them a handout. One will take it back to wherever they came from. We the people. Stupid crap. The less I say about it, the better. Then Daniel Bryan's walking backstage, bumps into Kane, and Daniel says, "Oh, why did you hug me last night? You gave me an uppercut. I don't feel comfortable continuing with you now." So he's like, "I went to Vicky and asked for singles match with Jack Swagger. I don't want you ringside." And Kane says, "Oh yeah, I'll do the same thing. I don't want you out there either." And so Daniel's like, "Okay, yeah," and Kane said, "Yeah, you better be man of your word because I hate snakes." So it comes back, "Someone talk about me." And Kane's like, "I don't like snakes. They slither when they get too close. I'll step on them with my boot." And then Orton tells Kane that he would have been worried if he had said that like a few months ago or whatever. But that's the sessions Kane has had with Dr. Shelby. Kane is more like Barney the freaking dinosaur than the big red monster. And Daniel found that kind of comical. It was a typical Kane during the Bryan segment. Like I said, Orton was there to set up the match with him and Kane later. So then backstage we see Vicky on her cell phone. Paul Heyman's there. And then she sarcastically congratulates Heyman on putting the stip in that if Rock would lose by counter DQ, lose the title because Rock still managed to win. And then she's got some dramatic news for the Heyman that'll affect his career and his life, blah blah blah. He wants to know what it is. She says she'll tell him in the ring. He doesn't like surprises. Alright. So then we have again Del Rio against Dolph Ziggler. Before Del Rio is the world champion, Ziggler has the money in the bank to cash in on the world champion. Why the hell doesn't Dolph just cash in on the champion when he's got a match with him? Anyway, so he loses cleanly. He taps out to the arm breaker, so Del Rio gets a submission win. Good match, but again, Dolph just did the clean submission job. So, like I say, why have Ziggler go up against the guy, the champion, he could cash in on in a non-title match? This is like the second or third time this has happened. Why not just have him cash in if he knows the match is happening? But then afterwards, after the match, Biggie Langston comes in, clotheslines Del Rio, gives him his big end finisher, whatever the hell they call it, and he tells Del Rio, "It's over for you, man," or whatever. And Dolph gets the money in the bank case and makes like he was going to cash it in. Then Ricardo snatches the briefcase, runs up the ramp to the back or whatever. Langston chases him, and as Ricardo's running up the ramp, he drops the briefcase in the aisle. Then AJ gets it, gives it to Dolph, but before Dolph can cash in, Del Rio gives Dolph enziguri, further burying Dolph more so than they already have. Then we have another pointless segment here. Wade Barrett's in the ring. He says, he's a top WWE superstar. Well, very inconsistent with his pushes too. But now he's about to become a movie star too. He just started some movie that's coming out in March. He wants everyone to see the trailer to see why the Bounce Barrage is coming to Hollywood. And they saw the trailer for this movie. I forget what the hell it was called. I don't even care. It's a movie I'm not going to see. So then we go back to Wade Barrett. He was like, yeah. And then Sheamus shows up on the Tron. And he says, "Hey, fella, you're not the star of the film. My friend Colin Farrell is." And if you have any objections, you can feel free to respond. Oh, wait, we're out of time? Okay. Pointless segment. I don't know what the hell it was for. Why have, like I said, why did they have Barrett do this and even have Sheamus come on the Tron? It was stupid. Speaking of stupid, then we had a 6-person tag match. Brodus, Tenzai, and Naomi of the Funkadactyls against Primo Epico Rosa. Naturally, the Dancing Buffoons win. Brodus pins Primo after a double splash, meaning a squash. Then they show highlights of the press conference from earlier today where they mentioned that WrestleMania 30 will be in New Orleans. So then Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter come out for the State of the Union address. Good God, this is painful. it just sucked. Swagger was saying, it's like, oh yeah, he not only conquered the chamber last night, but he put the weight of the country on his shoulders. And this is about the State of the Union tonight, and who better to talk about that than Dutch Zeb Colter Mantell. Zeb talks about the Bill of Rights, and that gives him and Jack the right to voice their opinions. Might not like it, but that's what Americans do, whatever, or some crap like that. I don't know. This is just so stupid. He blames the millions of people, who live in the country illegally for the crappy shape that this country's in, and it's time that they put an end to it. And there's a big problem in this country. It needs to be fixed. People need to say no more, and we need to say no more of these stupid ass lame crap storylines. This whole thing is just so stupid. Last night Swagger won the challenge for the world title, but this is more about the world title match. It's a battle for the safety of the country because a Mexican is the champion or whatever. I don't know. And Zeb says that Del Rio came to this country and is reaping the rewards of the motherland. Swagger will win the title and reclaim America, and Swagger being the world champion will make America a proud country to live in, or some bull crap like that. I don't know. This was just so stupid. And then Swagger just keeps saying, "We the people." Painful, painful, painful. The storyline completely beyond the idiotic. Just so stupid. So we got like I said, we got a stereotypical Southern bigoted American heel saying, "Hey, I don't like those other stereotypes of people who are illegals or whatever." It's just so stupid. I don't even want to get into it. It's just like, "Hey, I don't like anybody who didn't look like me." Yeah, okay, whatever. And Jack Swagger's the real American. What is he? Was he freaking Hulk Hogan now? The real American, the heel American. Who gives? So then Daniel Bryan comes out. He has a match with Jack Swagger. Actually, solid match. Swagger won by submission naturally. It was a solid match. Swagger got the ankle lock or the Patriot lock, whatever the hell they want to call it on. It's the win, I believe. Then Heyman and Vicky Guerrero in the ring. And Vicky says, oh, she's got this huge announcement that could drastically change Heyman's career and his entire life. Tonight she's going to name new assistant to her new assistant. It's freaking Brad Maddox. So Maddox comes out, thanks Vicky. This is a reward for his loyalty and services to the company and to Raw for exposing the Heyman paying off the Shield. And Maddox says that Vince was so happy with him that he gave him the opportunity of a lifetime, naming him the assistant manager. And then Vicky says, it's the assistant to the managing supervisor, pretty much like Teddy Long saying, no, you're the assistant to the GM, not assistant GM. And it was just a little hokey back and forth crap. And then, Heyman really doesn't care about what either one of them had to say. And then Vince shows up on the train like, "Oh, Mr. Heyman, that's not the surprise." And then Heyman's like, "Oh, Mr. Heyman, it's a pleasure. What a surprise to see you. Look great." Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Vince says, "Oh, whenever you open your mouth, who was lying, Heyman?" And then Vince said, Heyman made last week, that, make it, with the Rock Punk match, hey, make it a no DQ. I'll do anything if you just put that stick in the match. And then, out of the goodness of your heart, Vince, you granted that wish, blah, blah, blah. And, and Vince says, I don't have a heart. If I did, it would be black and cold. And he said, last week you said you'd do anything. I put that in writing. So that means, Mr. Heyman, I can fire you right now. But no, that'd be too good for you. So he's 2 weeks removed from hip surgery. And next week, Vince and Heyman will get in the ring, and they'll have a fight. And then Heyman has oh my God, what am I going to do? I hated this segment. Vicky is, Maddox is Vicky's assistant, find to be lame. Vince was just typical Vince here. Heyman was good, but this segment just didn't do it for me. And I don't know how the hell they're going to have Vince and Heyman fight next week. Then we get to Jericho, Sheamus, and Ryback versus The Shield. This match was I think it was just as good as the six-man at the Chamber. It was a good match. The Shield eventually got the win. Ambrose got the pin on Jericho. Really good match. Then we were supposed to get Kofi Kingston against Damian Sandow. But Damian Sandow comes out and he tells the uninformed half-wits that Monday was President's Day, a day he holds near and dear to his heart. And he talks about how the different members of the Sandow family were part of different presidential administrations or whatever. And he does the whole, I'm going to save you unwashed masses from your own ignorance. You're welcome. And Sandow starts attacking Kofi. They go at it. Sandow gets the upper hand. Q, what's up? And R-Truth returns after his injury. And he goes after Sandow, throws him in the ring, kicks him a couple times, then gives Sandow an axe kick and clotheslines him over the top out of the ring. Not a bad segment. It was cool to see Truth back. Then Josh Matthews was in the crowd or whatever with two people who were co-starring in the G.I. Joe movie with The Rock. They show the trailer. I don't think what was with trailers. First, the movie The Wade Barrett made a cameo in, and then this. It's like, who cares? So then we get Kane versus Randy Orton. Solid match. Orton won. Daniel Bryan came out. That distracted Kane, and then Orton hit the RKO, got the pin. So I'm guessing they're going to be splitting up the Kane Daniel Bryan tag team sooner than later. Then time for The Rock's WWE Championship celebration or whatever, and I don't know what the hell this was, but the local Lafayette band, marching band or whatever, was surrounding the ramp, the trumpets and this and that. I don't know what that was about. Then Rock comes out. He says last night Punk did everything he could do to beat The Rock, and Punk showed what a human piece of garbage he is. And Rock says he beat the best in the world twice. And then Rock woke up in New Orleans and he did his usual stick it up. I drove down this hill and and then I woke up in New Orleans like I walked down and then finally and Punk over the title. They're live. The whole world and then our whole world knows finally The Rock has come back to Lafayette. WrestleMania, 48 days to WrestleMania. Rock's going Mania as champion. But he isn't going to go with the stupid looking spinner belt. Rock's been around a long time. Rock was born in this business. And there's no respect for the WWE Championship. And 8 years ago when the spinner belt came out, it worked. There were some who thought the belt was cool, blah, blah, blah. To him, the title shouldn't look like a toy and shouldn't spin. Which I agree with on that, because that belt was so freaking stupid. So then he gives it to some guy, and he says, hey, make sure this thing goes into the Hall of Fame. That was pretty funny, It's like, and then he says, when you see the WWE title, it's like whether you see it as a superstar or a fan, the title should be inspiring. And he puts over champions who were past champions like Bruno, Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, and Stone Cold, and as being some of the greatest champions. And then he unveils the new WWE title. Not the greatest looking belt, but it looked better than the spinner one. It had the Brahma Bull logos on the side of the buckle, on the side of the belt. Rock figures the fans love the title. I said, you love this title, whatever, and they cheer. Rock wanted to make something prestigious and also flat out badass. The belt didn't really look too badass to me, but that's Rock and then Rock fights at WrestleMania, CM Punk or John Cena. And then there's one man at The Rock wants to face. A guy brings out the very best in The Rock. And for personal and professional reasons, that man is. And then Super Cena comes out, and he's just standing there on the apron. Before he can say anything, out comes Punk. He hits Cena in the back of the head with the spinner belt, and Cena goes down on the ramp. And then Punk looks at Rock, and he just throws the spinner belt down. Then he points to Rock's new belt, and he's like, saying, "I want it, man." It's like, I want it. And then Punk walks to the back, and Cena's laying there on the ramp. Rock stands in the ring, and that was the show. It was actually pretty good. I thought this was good here. Like I said, Rock was his charismatic, entertaining self. Rock is always usually guaranteed a good promo. I like that Cena came out and didn't say anything. Punk hitting Cena in the back of the head with the spinner belt was good too. So I'm glad they finally got rid of that stupid spinner belt. Like I say, Rock was the right way. I agree with the Rock's comments when he said that the belt shouldn't look like a toy and shouldn't spin. So, but really, what I'm really hoping, like the Cena Punk match next week goes to a double DQ or no finish, or maybe both, or whatever. And then CM Punk can say, hey, I got screwed again. I have a legit grab. I got a legit claim to another title shot. So we get Rock, Cena, Punk at WrestleMania for the belt. I really want to see that because we saw Rock Cena last year. The once in a lifetime match we're going to see again. I don't want to see that. Throw Punk in the match. So that was your show. Like I said, overall I thought it was a mixed bag. The beginning and end were both good. Beginning and end, like I said, those were both good. The Vicky Maddox Heyman segment with Vince on the Trance kind of weak. Del Rio Ziggler, a good match, but again, why have Dolph lose cleanly to the guy he could cash in on? It's like, who the hell's going to take him seriously whenever he does cash in? And if he cashes in, will they have him win the belt? So that was pretty much it. Yeah. So that'll do it for me now. You know, I'll be back whenever I can be with whatever show I can get a chance to review. So, you know, sorry I haven't been around too much, but you know, sometimes it's hard to get access to this freaking computer. But yeah, that's whatever. So that'll do it for me right now. Until whenever I can get around to doing another recap show. This is the Tone Tony Viz signing off. Take care, all. Have a good one.